Okay, we're in the kitchen, and I think we're gonna be in the kitchen for the next few videos. You know, the kitchen is, as they say, the heart of every home, and it's true. Whether we're preparing meals together, it's also a place where we seem to cross paths with people as people are coming and going, and it is a very special place. We wanna make sure that it's clutter-free and organized. So what we're gonna do first, we're gonna start on kitchen counters, because if the kitchen counters are nice and clutter-free and functional, it just makes everything run smoothly. So let's start there. Okay, for this video, I kind of cheated a little bit because I actually have pretty good practices in place to keep my kitchen decluttered, but I tried something out. I said, okay, after New Year's, I'm not gonna spend any time working in the kitchen, and I wanna see what happens. And you'll see the clutter started to build up. So just by relaxing my normal day-to-day practices, where I literally spend minutes every day making sure things don't creep up, that things are put back where they belong, you can see what happens. It happens very quickly, even for me. Let's take a look. So we've got our toaster and our utensils. So the utensils are a bit bloated, but that's okay. We've got some spices that are kind of out of control from baking and stuff, and we have some extra bins over there. And usually over here in this corner right here, we have a drying rack for dishes. So we have this little bin called Thankful, and in there we keep our breads. Like we've got a wine cork, we've got some garlic, and part of a lamp that broke. So that's up there. Here's a tin. Now there may be chocolate in there, I don't know, we'll have to see. Here's a cake holder with a picture in it, and we really haven't been using that. So a book that our little one got and hasn't even looked at yet. We've got some candy canes, and that's pretty much it. But as you can tell, it's kind of cluttered over here, and generally I like to keep it nice and tidy. Okay, when clutter starts to creep up, what I like to do is grab the things that really don't belong. They're easily identifiable. For example, this book does not belong in the kitchen, right? It hasn't even been opened, so I'm not even sure if we want it. This is a perfect example of what I would do is if I saw this sitting here and somebody left it behind and I was leaving the room and I was gonna go to another area, I would just grab it normally and I would just take it. But as I told you, I relaxed my standards to see how bad the clutter would build up over the, let's see, today is the 14th. So it's been 4 days since the 1st of January. So I haven't really been doing my regular practice of coming through and doing these things. But normally I would have just grabbed it, put it back where it belongs, or had somebody else do that. That way it wouldn't start to build up. So this is an easy one. I'll go find a home for this one. And then it looks like I've got an empty tin. Now I don't have a need for it, so I think this is probably just gonna be leaving the house, so I don't need that. And I have another obvious one where it looks like another tin. This was a gift that we were given. And let me take a peek if there's anything in here. Oh, there's still some stuff in here. So what I probably will do is take out the stuff that's still good, and then figure out what I want to do with the tin. And again, in this case, probably not going to keep the tin. Don't tell my daughter, because if she was here, she'd want to keep both of these. All it does is create clutter in her bedroom. So I don't think I'm even going to let her know, but I'm going to get rid of these. So then I'll take these cookies, I'll put these in the cupboard where they belong. So there's that. Now I have a thing of candy canes from Christmas. And I think pretty much by now, if somebody was going to eat these, they would have. So I think these are going to go, and this jar will get cleaned and put away for future use. So that'll be easy. One thing that's been interesting for me, I really wanted a cookie jar last year, and I know that sounds so silly, right? Big deal, a cookie jar, but I've never had one, and I saw this one and I really wanted it, and I put cookies in here, and people don't really eat them, and I guess we really aren't big cookie people. I have it, I really like it, but I'm not sure that I want it, because to be of value, it probably should be sitting on the counter, and I don't know that I want it sitting on the counter. So I think this is gonna be one of those things I'm gonna put in a box that says save until, and I'll do 6 months from now, which will be in June. My plant, I'll probably find another home for. Same with this one. This is a centerpiece that belongs on our large table, so I'll move that. And then obviously the bananas get to stay, right? We like things on the counter. I'm not sure what's in this bag. I'm a little scared. Oh, it's like a sweet potato or a yam, and it's fine, thankfully, now that I stuck my hand in there. I definitely will just put that up here so that somebody can eat that soon, hopefully, because it still looks perfectly good. Here's another thing that I really like to have. This is obviously for putting a cake, and we don't really have a lot of cakes. We do around certain occasions, but in general, we don't have cake around the house. I'm not a baker. We have so many people with allergies that we don't really have a lot of people that eat cake. I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. It is something that I want to have for when we do display cakes, but it needs to find a home that's not on the counter. Oh, I mentioned one of our lights broke and the pieces just got left here in the kitchen. I think someone said, hey mom, here, look at this broke, and then they left it and it's just kind of been left here for, I don't know, since the first. I need to make sure that this gets repaired and gets put back where it belongs. It doesn't belong here in the kitchen. I think that's pretty much it for my clutter. Okay, so the sun came out, decided to join us. We've had storm after storm, so this is definitely a welcome surprise. I'm so happy. So I started putting away all of the items that actually have a home already. So that's the easy stuff, and you'll be so surprised how fast you can pick stuff up off of a flat surface like the counters and put them away. If they already have a designated home, just go and take them, and just take a couple at a time and just put them away. Get somebody else in the family to help you, and this part will go really fast. Now the part that doesn't go as fast is when you have stuff that doesn't have a home yet. You'll need to make sure and ask yourself, do you really want this item? Is it something that you want to keep? Is it something you want to dedicate storage to, because now you need to find a new place for it? Also ask yourself, is it something that you can part with? If it doesn't already have a home, there's a reason for it. So if you think that you might be able to part with it, ask questions like, can I borrow this from a friend if I need it down the road? You know, maybe it's a small appliance or a book or something that you could borrow from a friend if you did need it down the road, if you let it go today. Is it something you could easily replace? My rule is, if I don't think I need it, I'll get rid of it, especially if it's like less than $20. If it's something that, you know, I really feel strongly that it can go, I'm willing to take the risk that I might have to rebuy it, but I wouldn't do that with a $300 item, you know, but something that's $20 or less, I think is an acceptable number to go with. And then the last thing is, if you're just really on the fence and you can't make that decision, you don't want to dedicate a place for it, or you don't have room, but you don't want to let it go, the best way to do that is to get a box, put the item in a box, tape it up, write save until, and then so right now it's January 14th, 2023. So write a date that's 6 months in advance. Come back to that item. If you taped it up, you stored it in your garage or wherever you're going to store it, and you didn't use it by then, make a commitment to yourself to take it straight to the donation center. Don't even look at it, just hand it over to them. If you did open it, say 3 months down the road, you really needed it, hopefully you found a home at that time and you made space for it and you kept it. This is a great risk-free way that helps take some of the stress and anxiety out of decluttering. Works especially well for things that you just don't know if you want to get rid of. You have a strong feeling you do. You'll be surprised. You'll find that box down the road and you'll be like, I didn't even open it, and you'll take it to the donation center. Now, for other items commonly found in a kitchen, which could be paper clutter, manuals, and random papers that just don't have a home or you weren't able to do anything with. If you have an issue with paper clutter, comment below, and if you want a video on how to tame the paper clutter, I'd be happy to create one. If you're dealing with keys, purses, gloves, hats, jackets, bags, mail, or anything like that on your kitchen counters, go check out my video on the Entryway that I did a few weeks ago, because we talk about the importance of finding homes for all those things so that when people come into your house, they immediately put those things where they belong and they won't end up as clutter on your kitchen counters, on your dining room table, or anywhere like that. Okay, now that you have taken a look at all of the existing clutter and you've either taken care of it or you have a plan to do that, we need to talk about how to ensure that the clutter doesn't build back up. I have a few practices that I like to do in my household, especially in the kitchen. Every morning, I like to clean the counters, like physically clean them, and make sure they're nice and clean for everybody to use. So I do that every morning, and if there's something on the counter, I have to deal with it, right? So I'll deal with it right then and there. Anytime I come into the kitchen, I take an opportunity to look around. If I see something out of place, I take care of it or have a family member take care of it. For example, if I'm making some tea, it's a good time to just look around and see how things look and if something's out of place. I do that anytime I'm coming in and out of the kitchen. It works great and it makes sure things don't get built up over time. The other thing I like to do at the end of the day, again, I like to clean the counters and make sure they're cleared before I go to bed. It's always nice to be able to come in the morning and have everything clear. Now in our household, we have adult adult children in the house, they could be down here making a sandwich or something like that, and I'll find crumbs in the morning. That's why I clean the counters again. If you can always just look around and grab something that's out of place when you're leaving the room, that's the best way. And that's a tip for any room. Try not to leave a room empty-handed. If you're in your office and you just finished eating lunch and you're gonna go downstairs or you're gonna go into the kitchen, grab the dish that you just ate and take it down to the kitchen. At that point, don't leave it in the office. It's a great practice to have whenever you're leaving any room. If you're going upstairs, grab something that needs to be upstairs. If you're going downstairs, grab something that needs to go downstairs. Just don't walk empty-handed. That's one of my biggest tips that I can have for you. Okay, I hope that this was a good overview on how to tackle the clutter on your countertops. This month, and maybe going a little bit into February, we'll have some good videos on the kitchen coming up still. So we have decluttering and organizing your spices. We have decluttering, organizing your utensils. Oh my gosh, they can get so out of control. And then the third one is organizing and decluttering your food storage containers. We all have Tupperware and we have lids everywhere, and we'll talk about different storage solutions for those. So I'm really looking forward to those videos. So make sure and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can join me for those. See you next time. Bye.